here we are with
Homam Jamal.
So today we went. What was the record?
I went 8-0 and then lost the last round getting paired down, but I was the only undefeated in Swiss playing TEVA fish. It's a new type of deck. And yeah, basically undefeated in Swiss, playing in top 8 tomorrow.
All right, so what were some of your matchups today?
So I played against Hero Frogs, I played against Light Swarns, a lot of Bayou Turbo, a couple of Black Wings. A matchup I didn't play against was Gladiator Beast, so keep that in mind. I did dodge all the Gladiator Beasts today. Yeah, but a big plethora of decks. No Amaryllis, no Glads, but everything else I did play in the meta. Yeah.
Okay. And then, were there any matchups that you played against today that gave you any trouble with the deck?
Trouble. Yeah, so this deck, I mean, it doesn't have a lot of trouble, but Deck Devi just specifically, Vanity's Fiend, I have a lot of trouble against Vanity's Fiend. I side Book of Moon, I'll talk about it later. But in terms of decks that give me trouble, it's mostly Black Wings when they have the Deck Devi, or if they resolve the Deck Devi. Gladiator Beast, definitely a bad matchup if anybody's playing Frogs. Yeah, I think those are my only bad matchups. I have really good game ones. Like, I barely lose any game ones. I think I only lost 1 or 2 game ones today.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go ahead and jump into the deck profile. So what are we working with for the TEVA fish?
Awesome, yeah. So I'll jump right into it. I'll start with the monsters. So you start with Super Ancient Deep Sea Coelacanth. I play 3 of these. This is the main engine of the deck. This is how you kill your opponent. His effect is if you discard a card, you could special summon as many fish from your deck as possible. So the deck revolves around this card, and you'll see it more, but the strategy is really just to like clear back row and stall until you can safely get one of these plays off.
So for that card as well, let's just say your opponent Book of Moons it. Does the effect still resolve?
So it actually has Titaniel's effect. If you Book of Moon it, if a card targets it, you contribute a fish to negate that effect. So if you Book of Moon it, it'll still resolve. I'll still get 5 monsters.
And then let's just say they try and bottomless it, or they torrential.
If they torrential, I would wait until the other fish come out to torrential. If you torrential, you'll actually get to summon 5 fish instead, which is pretty crazy. So don't clear this when I activate the effect, because I'll get another monster on the board. Yeah, but you know, I'll show you some combos at the end of this video, but this is really what makes the deck. Another card that really makes the deck that's new to the format is TEVA. I play 3 of this card, and its effect is if it's tribute summons, kind of like a Monarch, it's a threatening roar. Your opponent can't attack next turn. And that's really beneficial for a deck like this that basically stalls and puts you in a position where you want to kill your opponent after you clear the back row. You can loop it. I'll show you some loops. It's a really, really underrated and broken card. 3 Swap Frog standard. I wouldn't play 2. I mean, some people started playing 2, but you need Swap Frog sometimes, or most of the time, to get that second summon or special summon to double stack for the fish, because it is a 7-star, so you have to double stack for it. I play 3 Oystermeister primarily as combo pieces. I hope these stay in my deck. If I don't, I may read them back into my deck, but I bring these out with the fish from my deck to do some combos. That's the primary reason I play 3. If you draw them, you have less combo routes to go through, and that's why I play 3. A lot of people play 2, but once I draw 1, I have very little combos. Most of the time I do need 2 to do the ridiculous stuff, so I play 3. This is standard, 3 Substitoad, and then I play 2 Dupe and 2 Treeborn and 2 Fishborg. So pretty minimalistic frog list. I do play Unifrog, just wait. And then I play 2 Fishborg because this not only can combo like Dream Frogs do if in a last case scenario effort, but you know, you can discard it after Treeborn comes back to double stack for fish, and it's a combo piece. You get it out of the deck to do your essential plays. So sometimes you could just use it as the second sacrifice by just discarding a card after Treeborn comes back, which is great. A lot of people don't realize that. For the last of the fish, I play Metabo Shark and Royal Swamp Eel. Some people play that 1400 vanilla guy, Tamago or something, to get around bottomless. This card's actually really good because when you draw, sometimes you'll draw bad. I'll admit it. Sometimes you can draw bad. And sometimes you're in situations where multiple oysters or marays in the grave, and this card, when it's normal summoned, it puts back 2 fish from your grave. back in your deck, so it turns your combo back on.
Oh, that's like on summon?
On summon, yeah. So I prefer to play the 18 guy because of that utility. Let it get bottomless, that's fine.
And I mean, that's also kind of great whenever you get deck dev or anything like that, just being able to have a monster that doesn't get hit.
Yep,
and
you
just being
can.
able to just have a beater.
Exactly, you could summon it and just pass against GB, hope they don't have Laquari, stuff like that. Yeah, and then in terms of hand traps, I only play 2. Mostly because of deck devy, I play 1 Battle Fader and I play 1 Gores. I would play more Battle Faders, trust me. It's just deck devy is so common in the format right now that I have to bring it down. And then lastly, for the monsters, I play Unifrog, which is standard with the minimalistic list. All right, that's monsters. And then when we get a chance, I'll do a couple combos for you at the end.
Sounds good.
So going into spells, pretty short. I play 3 Murray of Greed. You need this card at 3. I usually don't even sometimes I side one out, but I try not to. You need to turn your combos back on by putting the fish back in your deck. It's also draw power to draw your heavy storms, to draw your trap stuns and stuff like that.
Is there any matchup in specific where you sometimes side that one out?
Usually not any matchup in specific. Usually when I want to, I side my body as a shield and Caius both at 2, but in some situations I only side 1 in. In the situations I side 2 in, this is usually the extra space that comes out. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but I really don't like siding this. I don't side out Oystermeister at all because it's combo pieces. And I don't side out Gold Sark at all either because you need it to turn on to win the game basically. You only play 5 ways to get the fish. It's the 3 fish and the 2 Sarks. So you have to draw it. I used to play Deep Diver, but I don't play that anymore. I play 1 Pot of Avarice. Sometimes I use this when I'm doing a Substitute lock to just Pot of Greed and draw 2 cards. But mostly this is an emergency Pot of Avarice. So like when I get backed into a corner and I have to fish and you have a trap card for it, I can Avarice and reset and try again later.
Gotcha.
I also go off when I have 2 fish in my hand. I'll go off early just because I have Avarice in my hand. And then I play Heavy Storm and Trunade. You want to get rid of the back row before you go off with fish. It's very common practice. Most of the time I clear the back row. They're under trap stun or something before I go off. But sometimes you get backed into a corner where you have to go off under 1 back row or something and just hope they don't have a bottomless torrential or something like that.
Right.
Or a oppression or something. Finally, that's all the spells. And then traps. I play 3 Threatening Roar. Again, this build, the theme of this build is very stall oriented. You can loop TEVA in combination with these cards as well to help you out. And I'll show you more of that. But you want to buy as many turns as possible to get yourself in the perfect situation to kill them in 1 turn. Same reason I do play 2 Wabaku. It sucks against Gladiator Beast. They do go out. But it's just as good as Threatening Roar in every other situation besides DD Warrior Lady, I would say. Yeah, and it plays around deck devy. And then finally 2 trap stuns. Usually the way it works is I just set 1 back row or set 2 back row. They'll attack, I'll Wabaku, and then during my standby phase, I'll trap stun and bring back Treeborn safely so that it doesn't get wing blasted or karma cut or anything like that.
So trap stun's really like the big MVP for when you're about to make that push is when that gets set and it's like, all right.
Absolutely,
next
yeah.
turn, we're going in and we just have to hope that they don't have like a solemn
or a dust tornado or something. Yeah. In situations where I have multiple, I'll do this 1 turn before so that they go back to the hand and then I'll set the trap stun. So they can't activate anything in the end phase. Yeah, so that's the main deck. Really simple, very stall oriented, but it's really good. You can loop TEVA, you can do some fish combos. I'll show the extra inside and then we'll do some combos.
All right.
So side deck, 2 Caius. These go in against Vayu Turbo, sometimes against Black Wings as well. It's a universal card. A part of me says that 1 should be in the main deck, but I also use it to remove back row. I use it to slow down my opponent until I finally have the fish. And if I have Treeborn in the hand and the deck deving me, I'm still in the game. You know what I mean? So these go in. Snowman Eater go in specifically against Black Wings, going first. I side them out going second. I play 1 Possessed Dark Soul. Some people play this, but I don't think Frog players usually play this. But in the mirror match, Yeah, in the mirror match, it's really slow. I play a stall deck already. They're gonna juke block me that game, 100%. So once I draw this, they're my 3 monsters in defense now, right? I don't really care if you add to your hand. It's just it's getting rid of your dupe block, and it's giving me turns. So I play Dark Dust Spirit specifically for Amaryllis. This guy knows. And the reason why is because Titanial actually makes it so all the main synchro lines are not standard anymore. Because you could just negate Army Arm when I attach Army Arm to stuff. Yeah. So I try to play this a turn or two before I go off against Amaryllis. So usually when they only have an Amaryllis in D. To my body, this is really important. My body is super good. It's won me a couple of games. It wasn't very good today, but I'm gonna keep it in. It's really good against Fairy. So this deck automatically loses to 3 cards. I'll tell you right now, Vanity's Fiend, Archibald Christia, and Herald of Orange Light. This stops Herald of Orange Light. This is specifically for Herald of Orange Light. Against Blackwings, they go in, specifically for Deck Devi and Icarus attack. It always stays in my hand. So when I set 2 back row and go into end phase and they end phase Icarus, I'll just activate this from my hand and just negate it and they'll -2. So really, really good card. This deck sometimes struggles against Icarus attack. So you need to play around Icarus the whole game. It's really difficult sometimes. 2 Book of Moon for Vanity's Fiend. This is a really useful card. It has so many different ways you can use it. For example, in my round before the last round of Swiss, I brought back Treeborn Frog. I Book of Mooned my Treeborn Frog during the standby phase to bring back the second Treeborn Frog to sack for the Coelacanth. I mean, this is usually used for Vanity's Fiend during the standby, but it has a lot of utility.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of people, I think, were playing it today.
Yeah.
A normal amount than I think I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, it's insane. Vanity's Fiend is an auto loss card against this deck, so you need to side against it 100% every time. Burial's good. You put your Fishborgs and your Treeborns back when they, play Kaiku, play DD Crow and stuff like that. Sometimes you can get caught out. This will get you back in the game. 1 MST. I don't main MST because I have the True Nade, the Heavy, and the 2 Trap Stuns, and I usually just try to flip 1 and kill you. This is good against Monarchs. This goes in against Monarchs because they usually only set 1 back row, so I just space the 1 back row. Amaryllis kind of does the same too, so I sided in against Amaryllis too. Brain Control for Vanity's Fiend and Fossil Dyna again. I could take your Vanity's Fiend and then sack it for the Coelacanth or Teva or Caius. Deep Prison specifically for Christia and GB. Mirror Force for Vanity's Fiend, Christia, GB, and stuff like that. Vanity's Fiend outs, right? They always have to go in. You will lose to Vanity's Fiend immediately, right? So just keep that in mind. All right, that's the side deck. Finally, the extra deck, and I'll do a couple combos and we'll end it here.
All right, very much appreciate it.
Cool. All right, we'll start off with my tokens. Beautiful fish token for the fish deck. This came out every game, I would say. All right, so let's start with the 4s. I play 3 Armory Arm. A lot of people think it's too much, but round 1, turn 1, I put 3 Armory Arms on some dude that summoned a card trooper and passed, and I put 3 Armory Arms on him and crashed my Coelacanth into him, and he took 28 3 times per game. So I play 3 Armory Arm. It comes up sometimes if you have the Oystermeisters, all 3 in your deck. That's why I play 3 Oystermeister. You can also do a bunch of other shenanigans with this. There's too many lines to go through. I'll do some basic ones for you.
Okay.
5 stars. Magical Android, really good. You can do like Thought Ruler combos to gain 12 sometimes. Ally Justice Cataster for the 5s. This is for like fairies sometimes, against Lightsworn sometimes, but fairies really. I barely make this card. If any card would get cut, it'd be this card. 8s. So I play Goyo and Brio, standard. And then I play Flamville Iroquoisa, which is really good against Amaryllis specifically. You can do combos where you attach Army Arms to this thing and swing for 1 million. It's pretty good.
I think you hit me with that one.
I think I did hit you with that. Yeah. And then Black Rose Dragon for another 7. And then 8s, Stardust, Thought Ruler, and then I play 2 Colossal. It's important to play 2 Colossal. And the reason why is because Necro Garden is a card that exists, and Deep Sea Coelacanth can do a combo that does 1 Armory Arm and 2 Colossals, so you can still Colossal Armory Arm people when they have Necro Garden in the grave. Just make sure you have the pieces right. Yeah, but that's why I play 2 Colossal. When I go off and make a Colossal and they stop it, I have another one if I can Colossal Armory Arm them later. So I definitely do that. And then finally, MVP, Mistworm. He's won me most of my matches today. But you make Deep Sea Cold Camp is a 7. Oystermeister token is a 1100 token, and Fishborg is a 1. So it's very easy to make this in the end of your combo. And that's the extra deck. Yeah, that's really it. It was a really fun day. It was really grueling, 9 rounds. I'm surprised I did so. I'm not surprised I did well. I've been working really hard on optimizing this deck.
You've been working on this deck for
yeah,
like what, at least a year, maybe even more?
A year, yeah. I went to New York. I went X2 in New York and missed Top Cut. I think I was 23rd, and I was really disappointed. And I told myself I wouldn't stop playing this deck until I got an R-Bet or a Ultimate Time Wizard top so I can move on. But let me just do 1 or 2 combos and we'll end it, okay? So you always start with this. Let's say he's trap stunned, heavy, true-nated. I'll do an 8,000 damage combo, and then I'll do like Colossal Army Arm combos. So okay. I'm gonna discard a card, and then I'm gonna summon as many fish as I can from the board. So this is a pretty standard 8,000 combo if they have very little monsters. There are Mistworm combos that you can do 79 with, so make sure you deal 100 damage to them. But you get these 4 out. It's just one of very many ways. You can do this line a bunch of different ways. But you go Armory Arm, Oyster Token, attach Armory Arm oh, sorry, I messed up actually. You don't do the Armory Arm first. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, you're good, you're good.
You actually make Red Dragon Archfiend first. I'm sorry. Yep. Because it's not enough damage without Red Dragon. Yep. You make Red Dragon, and then Fishborg will come back by discarding another card. So that's 2 cards. Make sure you keep count of, and the amount of cards in your hand tell you how much you can do in your combos. So keep that in mind as well. This is a very conservative deck, and you need to know your lines. And I get another fish token. I don't think I have this fish token in oh.
No, you don't.
I don't. I also have an Oystermeister on the board. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're good.
Yeah. Army Arm attaches to RDA. And then discard a card for Fishborg. So this is a 3-card combo, okay? 3-card combo with fish discard. And then you're gonna make a second Army Arm here. And you'll get 1 more token. And then this is a tuner, and these are fish. This guy's effects negated, so you can synchro with anything. But this is a 6, and you could end with Brionic if they have a low board. There's other lines to end with Mistworm that do 79 as well, but this is the 8,000 combo that I wanted to show you guys. And then you can just bounce their monster and swing for game. Really cool. And then 1 more combo. Well, it's actually just like. Colossal Army Arm is very easy to make in this deck, and double Colossal Army Arm is very easy to make in this deck because this is a 3 and this is a 1, so these are Army Arms. This is a 7 and this is a 1, so that's Colossal, right? You can also summon Royal Swamp Eel and Metabo Shark to make the second Colossal, so that's Colossal double Army Arm. And you'll be able to tell, but you can make Colossal double Army Arm, Colossal triple Army Arm with different combos. But this is basically the idea of the deck. And I've just been Colossal Army Arming people all day. Sometimes I attack for game with Mistworm, but it was a great time. Yeah. Thanks for...
Homam, seriously, thank you very much for this. I mean, you've easily been like the best frog player, like probably in North America for like the longest period of time.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's been honestly amazing to see you like take this deck as far as you have, and I'm very hopeful to see what you do tomorrow at the event.
Thank you.
So is there any shout outs you'd like to do for
yeah, absolutely. A couple of shout outs. First shout out obviously to you, Forest ENT. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. It's right down there. Just hit it right now. And then a couple of other people, everybody from Super Special Awesome Cards. I used to work there when I was younger. They're one of my best friends, Alex Reynolds, Anthony Lay, SoCal Retro Yugs, Paco, Jose, Juan, Swagger, Oscar, everybody from Card Addiction. I'm missing too many people. E3 Yu-Gi-Oh, shout out to him. Yeah, and shout out to my family, my mom, my brothers, and the community itself. I really love the Edison community, and I love everybody in it. So shout out to you guys. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mom.
All right.
Appreciate you very much, and
All right.
good luck tomorrow.
All right. Thanks a lot. Bye.